I want to claim if you just, what happens to a lot of students, they just read things, and what they do is they read this part, and then they get busy, they stop reading and start writing things down. And what they fail to realize is that they have something written over here too, all right? It's really the whole thing. So I know reading it, let me get my eraser out, requires me to read the whole thing and try to understand what they're saying, all right? So it says, find a number such that if you add something to both of, if you add, let me read that. Find the number such that if it be added to each term, the ratio 8 to 5. Let me write this over here. So the ratio 8 to 5. They say if I add some number, I'm going to say x is that number. Now, I think I prefer to write these a little differently. I'm going to write it as 8 plus x over 5 plus x. So what I'm going to claim over here is, I kind of understand this part over here. They go on to say the result is 11/20ths, right? Is 11/20ths of what it would have been if the same number had been subtracted from each term. Right, let me write that down now. It's 11/20ths. Well, instead of adding, they say they're going to subtract. So it'd be 8 minus x, the same number, by the way, 5 minus x. All right? So I'm going to claim that this is what they said in the problem. Now, the question is, can I come up with the x, find the number? Let's give it a shot. All right? So I'm going to try that. And as I do that, I'm going to simplify a little tiny bit. And I'm going to write down 8 plus x, 5 plus x equals 88 minus 11x. And this is going to be 100 minus 20x. Well, there's many ways to do the problem. I'm going to just simply clear the fraction. I wouldn't divide in this one, by the way. Let's clear the fraction. So what do you get? 8 plus x, and you get 100 minus 20x equals, let's be careful, 5 plus x and 88 minus 11x. Now again, I realize for some students that numbers kill them. And if it does, I don't mind using a calculator to do arithmetic. Now certainly, I would prefer you didn't use a calculator, but I don't mind. All right, so I'm gonna start doing the multiplication now. And I'm slow at it too. So you can get 800. Then you get minus 160x, 100x. And then when you get there, you get minus 20x squared. And this is going to be equal to, 5 times 88, that's 440, right? Let me make sure of that. Yeah, 440. Minus 55x plus 88x. And then we get minus 11x squared. You shouldn't be in a rush to get to the end of the problem. You should be, calmly going through it now. And let's just take a look at it. You get 800 minus 60x minus 20x squared is equal to 440. Let's see, this is going to be a little more complicated, isn't it? It's plus 33x minus 11x squared. All right, I'm going to start to, get rid of my tracks, so to speak. I'm even going to erase this over here. I'm going to just move forward step by step. So I'm going to try to get the x squareds onto one side. Oops. And that's going to be 9x squared. What I do, I add it 20x squared to both sides. And now I'm going to add 60x to both sides. And what do you get? You get 93x. And then I'm going to subtract, let's see, 800 from both sides. So you're going to get minus 360. All right, that equals 0 now. I think you probably know that I'm always trying to reduce the size of a number to make it easier. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And you get 3x squared plus 31x minus 120. Now this is easier for me to handle. And I'll write down what I believe I'm seeing. 3x and x. That's for the 3x squared, by the way. And then I'm looking at that And I'm going to say 40 and 3. Now you may wonder why I'm saying 40 and 3, because 40 times 3 is 120, but more importantly, 9 and 40 differ by 31. So I'm going to say minus plus. So I'm still going to check it. You do get to 3x squared, right? That works good. You get minus 9x and 40x, 31x, and you get minus 120. So the answer over here is x equals 3 or x equals minus 40 thirds. I'm going to commit to these two answers. I'm going to look at the key and see if they have those answers listed. And they do. 3 or minus 40 thirds. We're done. Now, before I go on, I know I do it periodically. My name is Ron Bannon. I make mistakes. And what I'm looking for is people looking at the document and finding mistakes and then informing me about those mistakes for me to correct them, of course. And again, if there are egregious errors, I'll give you credit for it. All right? Thank you.